Hello and welcome to the 22nd day of our 100-day challenge on 14th of March 2018. Today we are going to continue with our geography challenge, 10 MCQs regarding the physical and world geography. So we have taken up the topics. You can find these challenges, MCQ challenges and the videos on our YouTube channel and on our website. You can just download these PDFs. You can utilize all these MCQs in your preparation for your prelims examination. And for today, we have taken these 10 topics that are El Nino, the tropical cyclones, the western disturbance and its how it affects the climate in India, and types of soils in India, rugged soil, laterite soil, and the different classifications, the seismic waves, L wave, P wave, and S wave, and their characteristics, and then jet streams, how they affect the climate, the atmosphere of India, and the coal deposits in India, cave rock formations, southern oscillation index, and sedimentary rocks. We have already taken up the metamorphic and igneous rocks, and today we are going to take up the concept of sedimentary. We are going to understand the concept behind the formation of sedimentary rocks. So in case if you want, you can revise these topics, pause the video. We have taken these following topics and the explanation from our standard sources like NCRT and GC Leong. So you can refer to any standard book for geography. So let's start with the first challenge of today, that is consider following in context of seismic waves. So L wave, that is surface wave, are the most destructive waves. Yes, because they are along the surface of earth, and they are going to create huge earthquakes, and their impact will be huge on the anthropogenic things like man-made buildings and our structures. They will be severely damaged with these uh, L waves. And second option, it says that in case of S wave, the particle move perpendicular to the direction of wave. Actually, this is correct, and that is one of the reasons why the S waves are not able to penetrate the liquid outer core of the Earth, because if the particle moves perpendicularly, it can only move through the solids and not the liquid, because in the liquid the wave will be lost, while the other wave which in which the motion is uh, alongside the wave, that will be contained in the liquid medium also. So this second option also stands correct regarding the S waves, while primary P waves are the waves which can also travel in the medium of liquid core also. So both the options seems correct. Now let's move on to read the explanation and discuss the concept behind all three S, P and L waves. So both the options are correct. L wave, the surface wave, are the most violent and destructive. It is the S wave that are analogous to the light waves, that is perpendicular. They because the S waves are transverse in nature and the particles move at the right angle in the direction of propagation. So S wave will only travel through the solid. It will be lost in the liquid medium, because the liquid particles, they cannot just continue the wave while in the if the particles of liquid are moved in the perpendicular direction, the wave formation will be lost, while the P wave can travel in the liquid medium as well. So P waves travel through the earth and are reflected when they pass through the mediums. The path of these waves are curved because density is gradually changing. So, and there are certain observations by passing these S and P waves inside the earth. And the observations are like the earth has very thin crust. It has semi-liquid mantle with the density so almost like plastic mantle, and increases with the depth, and the core has two compositions, that is outer core is obviously liquid because of high pressure. So this core is made up of outer liquid material, while the inner core is solid because of the huge pressure of the mass of the earth. So this is these learnings we should be careful about this. And L waves are surface wave. During the earthquake, they travel along the surface of the earth. That's why they are very violent and destructive. So let's move on to question number 2. Which of the following is are true regarding the western disturbances? So western disturbances, talking about western disturbances, they come around the month of October, November, and when there is sudden rain in the state of Delhi in the month of October, we experience sudden cooling of atmosphere. That is by the phenomena of western disturbances. So those things are like, let's read the options first. They are the phenomena of summer season. This is wrong because it happens somewhere around November or October. They are brought in by the westerly flow of the Mediterranean region. Yes, this is correct because the these waves are being carried from the they carry the humidity from the west Mediterranean Sea, and they flow westerly. That's why they create this rainfall when they arrive to the northern parts of northwestern parts of India. So second option seems correct, while first option is wrong. So let's move on to the great explanation. The western cyclonic disturbances are weather phenomena of the winter month and brought in by the westerly flow of from the Mediterranean region. Usually, these influences the weather of the north and northwestern of India. So, this was all about the western cyclonic disturbance, and they have given the information regarding the tropical cyclones as well. We have framed the question on the tropical cyclones as well. Tropical cyclones occur during the monsoon season, so as well as the October-November season, and they are the part of easterly flow, and these tropical cyclones are easterly, while this western disturbance were westerly flow, and these distribution become affect the coastal regions of country. We all know the havocs caused by the tropical cyclones in the coastal states like Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. So that was all about the tropical cyclones. Now let's move on to question number third. In context of jet streams, consider the following. In India, they flow over north of the Himalaya. No, this significance of jet stream is from the southern part of the Himalaya. They are flowing the southern part and covering the North India. So first option is incorrect. Jet streams are a type of westerly winds in troposphere. So second option is correct because they are part of the westerly winds in the troposphere. Their speed is around 110 kilometers in summer and 184 kilometers in winter. So jet streams, these are a narrow belt of high altitude westerly winds. So their altitude is around 12 kilometers, and UPSC has framed the main questions regarding jet stream and its significance in context of India. So you should be thorough with these concepts of western disturbance and jet streams and stuff like that. Number of separate jet streams have been identified. Most of the constant are the mid latitudes and subtropical jet streams. Over India, these jet streams blow south of the Himalayas all through the year except in the summer. So, except the month of summer, these jet streams are constant. Earlier, we have taken up the question regarding the trade winds, easterlies and westerlies, that they were the almost permanent winds, while monsoon is a seasonal, and there are other local winds like Lu, Chinook and all. So, and Kal Basaki as well. That is a local wind of Bengal. So that MCQ was also beneficial for from the point of view of prelims. Now let's move on to question number 4. Which of the following is true about the tropical cyclones? So tropical cyclones, they are very destructive and they hit the tropical areas. Let's read the options first. They have maximum occurrences along equator. This option is not correct because the Coriolis force on the equator is zero theoretically. So there is no possibility of having a stronger eye, revolving eye formation in the area of equator. So they are mostly the tropical and subtropical regions. So and second option is air fronts are required for formation of tropical cyclones. So this is also not correct because air fronts are required for the formation of not tropical cyclones but the temperate cyclones. Temperate cyclones are huge. They have like their area of occurrence is around 1500 kilometers, while these tropical cyclones have very smaller size, but they are very destructive. While the temperate cyclones, that is, they are forming over the Russia and other tropical temperate countries. So they have their wind speed is low and they are not very destructive, and they are formed by the meeting of the air fronts of different densities and temperatures. So that was about the temperate cyclones, not the tropical cyclone. So both the options are incorrect. Tropical cyclones do not form over the equator because the Coriolis force is zero at the equator. Even though equator is a zone of wind convergence, it has nothing to do with the tropical cyclone as such. So although we have already seen this phenomena of inter ITCZ, means inter convergence zone, which is very important and is shifting, is important in context of Indian monsoons. So you should be thorough with these concepts related to the Indian monsoons also. Temperature is highest north and south of equator and not exactly at the equator. Fronts are required for the formation of temperate cyclones, not the tropical cyclones. So this diagram is all about how this tropical storm or tropical cyclone is formed, and it requires high humidity and ocean temperatures of over 26 degrees, and the major contributing factor. So as this cyclone moves from the ocean to the coastal areas, it inflicts the damage on the coastal areas, but as it approaches the mid coastal areas, it disappears because of it loses its momentum and the low pressure required, which it gets from the its oceanic origin. So let's move on to question number 5. Which of the following is are correct about El Nino? So it leads to an increase in the temperature of sea surface temperature. This is correct. Around the Peruvian Sea, there is an increase in the sea temperature. It enhances the intensity of trade winds in the region. It reduces the intensity. Actually, the formation of El Nino, it disturbs the trade wind pattern, and so it reduces the intensity of trade winds. It is associated with the change in ocean current flow of the coast of Peru. This option everybody knows. So most of you are familiar with this. So options would be 1 and 3 only. El Nino is a name given to the periodic development of a warm ocean current along the coast of Peru as a temporary replacement of the old Peruvian current. So El Nino is a Spanish word which means the child and refers to the baby Christ as the current starts flowing during the Christmas. So in the month of the December, this El Nino phenomena, the winds start flowing. The presence of El Nino leads to an increase in the sea surface temperature and weakens the trade winds in the region. This is about the All India Full Mock Test Series 2018. We are going to conduct 5 full mock tests. They are absolutely free, and we have 200 seats in Delhi for the classroom, and you can also attempt the tests online. They are absolutely free. The registration and these 200 seats for the classroom are also free. You will be provided with the printed material and answer key and detailed explanations. So you are welcome. If you are in Delhi, you can join our classroom program. It is absolutely free. You can join in groups also, and you will be provided with the relevant printed materials about the 5 full mock tests which we are going to conduct. So let's move on to question number 6. Gondwana region has overwhelmingly larger share, about 99% in India. Which of the following resources? Natural gas, marble, coal, petroleum. Obviously, the Gondwana rocks are the largest deposit of the coal in India, and around 99% in the India's coal resources. The entire coal mine in the Peninsular Plateau part belongs to this category. So this coal was formed in the Carboniferous period between 600 to 300 million years ago. The coal was obtained from the Gondwana formations, is mainly bituminous and needs to be converted. So we have already talking about the anthracite coal, which is of high quality. This is our Indian coal is bituminous, which needs to be converted into coke. So before it can be used in the iron and steel industry, and there you can see sometimes frames this kind of questions that we are importing the coke for which reasons. So our coal, basically the Gondwana coals, is of bituminous origin, so not so pure. So this coke is needed for treating it to be used in the industries of steel and iron. Distribution of Gondwana coal is distributed in the river valleys of Damodar, Mahanadi, Godavari, Son, Narmada, and Damodar Valley is the home to largest coal mines in Jharkhand, West Bengal coal belt. In Jharia, the largest coal field in India. Raniganj, second largest coal field. Bokaro, and likes of those places. So this was about the Carboniferous origin of this bituminous coal deposit in the Gondwana area of India. Let's move on to the question number 7. Which of the following is a type of rock formation that rises from the floor of the cave due to the accumulation of material deposits on the floor? So it is asking about the deposit which raises from the floor of the cave. So uh, is it the stalagmite or stalactite? So the option would be G, that is stalagmite. G is for ground. So whatever accumulation rock formation from the accumulation on the ground of the cave is, that is the stalagmite. Because of the this vocabulary is G denotes the ground, while C denotes the ceilings. So stalactite is for the rock deposit formations in the cave on the ceiling of the cave, not the floor. So option would be one only, stalagmite. Stalagmite is a type of rock formation that rises from the floor of the cave due to the accumulation of material deposit on the floor from the ceiling droppings. So stalagmites, G means from the floor, may be composed of uh, emberate, lava, minerals, mud, peat, sand, sinter. On the other hand, the corresponding formation hanging down from the ceiling of the cave is stalactite. So stalactites is like C is for ceiling, we can remember, and stalagmite, G is for ground. So in the figure also we can see that stalactite, C for ceiling, stalactite, and stalagmite is G for ground. So the deposit which are from ground, they are called the stalagmites, the rock deposits in the caves. Let's move on to question number 8. Consider following statements. This is about the index, the Southern Oscillation Index, which is being developed to detect the presence of El Nino. So, uh, this index of Southern Oscillation Index is developed by measuring the temperature, this pressure difference between the Tahiti and this Darwin stations. So, Tahiti is the largest island in French Polynesia. French Polynesia is actually in southern Pacific. It's around 100. It's combination of around 100 smaller islands. So it is one of them. And Tahiti is the largest island of the French Polynesia. And Darwin is situated in its support of Australia. It was recently in the news because U.S. Army was preparing to. It is having America is having its one of the centers in the Pacific in Darwin. So they send their troops to the Darwin station where this American army is stationed. So both the options are correct. Darwin is situated in Timor Sea, which is just above the Australia. We can see in this diagram. So let's read about the Southern Oscillation Index and why it is important in context of detecting the phenomena of El Nino and La Nina. So Southern Oscillation Index was, even it was asked in previous 2016 or 17, I guess, prelims also, about they asked about the location of where this oscillation happens. The Southern Oscillation Index is an index that is based on the difference in the air pressure between Tahiti and Darwin. The Southern Oscillation Index is closely related to a phenomena of El Nino and La Nina, and a consistently negative Southern Oscillation Index indicates the presence of an El Nino. So if the Southern Oscillation Index is constantly negative, then there is a possibility of El Nino. Tahiti is the largest island in the French Polynesia, the Southern Pacific Archipelago, and Darwin is the capital city of Northern Territory of Australia, situated on the Timor Sea. So this was about the geography of this Southern Pacific and the phenomena associated with it, that is Southern Oscillation, Equatorial Southern Oscillation Index, and it is also very famous topic of UPSC. Which of the following is not true about the sedimentary rocks? In earlier videos, we have taken up the concept of igneous rocks and the metamorphic rocks, how the other rocks are transformed into the metamorphic rocks. The example is of metamorphic would be marble, because limestone, when it gets converted under heat and pressure, it results in the formation of marble. So let's read these things about sedimentary rocks. They cannot be transformed into metamorphic rock. This is incorrect, because the limestone, which is sedimentary rock, is being transformed in marble by the metamorphic transformations. So first option is not correct. These rocks may contain fossils of plants, because these are sedimentary rocks, so they obviously are going to contain the fossils of not only plant but of animals also. Sandstone is an example of sedimentary rock. This is also correct. First one is not correct, so the option would be, which is not correct, is A. Rocks roll down, crack, and hit each other and are broken down into small fragments. These small particles are called sediments. The sediments are transported, deposited by, so these are the carriers for the formation of the sedimentary rocks. These are wind, water, etc. Even they can be transported by the animals also. These loose sediments are composed and hardened to form the layers of rock. So these types of rocks are called sedimentary rocks. For example, sandstone is made from grains of sand. These rocks may also contain fossils of plant, animal, other microorganisms that once lived on them. And igneous and sedimentary rocks can change into metamorphic rocks under the great heat and pressure. So we have taken up this concept of igneous and metamorphic rocks also in our previous lectures. Now let's move on to the last question of today. Consider the following statements in context of laterite soil. Lateral soil is a highly leached soil and it lacks lime, because lime and silica, because of the high amount of physical weathering which it is exposed to. So first option is, it is rich in lime and silica. This is not correct. It is found in rain deficit areas. No, it is found in the areas which are experiencing heaviest of the rainfalls. For example, the Western Ghats, the Kerala, they are rich in laterite soil. So both the options are incorrect. Let's read the explanation. Laterite soil is primarily found in the tropical regions which receive heavy seasonal rainfall. High rainfall encourages the leaching of soil where the lime and silica are leached away, and the soil rich in the oxidates of aluminum predominates, and so aluminum is predominant in the laterite soil, and abundance laterite is called bauxite. So this leaching by the rain occurs, and this lime and silica is leached away, while this oxides of aluminium are predominant. They are remaining. So that soil which contains high degree of aluminium uh, compounds, they are called the bauxites. So due to the presence of iron oxides, the color of laterite soil is basically red. So the color is also red, and this soil is poor in organic matter as due to the high physical weathering and lime content. And then we will be taking the other types of soils like regur black soil in our upcoming videos. So guys, that was all the 10 challenges regarding the physical and world geography. We hope you enjoyed this session, and you can download all these files from our website, and stay tuned to our YouTube channel for more such challenges. Have a nice day. Thank you.